Yeah, I was just talking to one of our other room members who also had a very similar issue with getting his order on. Um, initially I had I was at a 31 bid. I hit a 35. It held, didn't fill, and it comes up with I think it was about a 40, and it just didn't even. I thought, wait, yeah, I should not have a 40. Of course, on the settings, I give it 10 pips to fill. So once I saw that I got a 40, I think I got 35 everywhere else. I called up and I said, listen, I put an order in to buy a 35 and you gave me a 40. He said, well, I can give you 30. I can give you 33 right now. I said, well, all right, go ahead. He gave me 33 and then pulled my other order, but I haven't got the credit back for the other one. So I'm going to call him back. Say, where's my credit? And I just talked to somebody else. They had the same thing happen. A different broker, by the way. So I don't know. I've seen some peculiar things happen since all this Swiss National Bank events. I've had more of these types of events reported to me and have occurred with me, on my own trading than I've seen in some time. I guess some of these guys have gotten beat up pretty bad. They're just trying to make their money back on some spreads. So it's about a 40 pip move, and then normally when I see these setups, there's going to be 3 or 4 confirmations on these moves. So I really like the setup, and most of the time when I see these setups, they're pretty good. So the real move actually came a bit earlier. It would have put us long somewhere shortly after 6 GMT today. Got in here early thinking we may get some setups early. Dollar CAD. Yeah, it's trying to go long, and again, right now, pound dollar has pulled back a little bit. Dollar yen still maintaining a firm tone. Pound yen has a pretty good chance to make a good move. Again, I'm looking at some things that, I tend to look more forward in my trading than I do at the moment. So it's like, driving a car. You can look to the extent of your headlights, or how far your headlights are reaching out, or you can look beyond that. Same thing in aviation. And again, my background being in former pilot, you have to, you're flying you're at step 1 where you're flying, but you got to be thinking step 9, 10, 11, 12. And it's really the same way with trading. I have to look ahead. Most of the time it works for us. A couple of times you can see things, and all of a sudden, of course, step 10, 11, 12 may be different, may change. But if I look forward, and what I like is the 4-hour close at 8 GMT, that's really setting this thing up for what could be a really good move. So let's just hope that this thing gets some bids coming in and we can see this thing make a nice move to the upside. Is it going to be a pound dollar move? Is it going to be a pound yen move? Is it going to be a dollar yen move? I don't know, but pound yen has some pretty good potential. So I took the trade. I don't like where the stop is, and that's the one thing I don't like to see. The stop's a bit wider than what I would prefer to see on this trade. I was hoping to get in with a tighter stop, but it also looked like it may just take off and leave me if I didn't put my order in. So I went ahead and just got in, and if it works for us, it does. If it doesn't, then we just go on to the next opportunity. What I don't like with the market right now is that we are seeing a little bit of dollar strength here as we open today, and that might not see these yen pairs or the crosses perform. It could be that the pound dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, which are all moving lower at the moment, dollar yen moving higher, dollar Swiss moving higher. Dollar's gaining against everything since we opened, and that generally does not bode well for the yen crosses, the dollar yen, pound yen, and Aussie. And yes, dollar yen can just get something going, and it generally somewhat lags the moves on those other pair. So that's the one thing I'm seeing at the moment that wasn't evident as we began the session and put this trade on the book. This came on our book, put on the book at 7:50 GMT today. Yeah, right now I've got the stop at 83.70 75 right in there is where it needs to be. If you see that little move lower we saw just a few minutes ago when it came down and hit an 80, 184.12, if we can get this thing to move back above the level and into some profits, then I can should be able to raise that stop up to around at least no lower than around 184. That gives about 35 pip stop. But unfortunately, the stop's just a bit wider than I like. So adjust your position for that. And in fact, if you are flat at the moment, we go back and hit that 35 again. It's still a valid setup. So if we hit that 35, make two highs, then we should be able to come in and raise that stop up and reduce our risk. And it should go back up to those levels. Right now, it's just buying its time. We're back at entry. Price has been as high as 40 and as low as 10, maybe 12, something like that. Right now, we're just brought back the entry. It looks like we're going to push those highs, and maybe we'll get a little bit of bite on this thing. And so we can break a new high in the next few minutes. Then I can justify raising my stop. And let's see. And I'd pull up to about that 184 level, which would be a bit more reasonable. Yeah, pound dollar not really doing anything at the moment. I was trying to give a long trade earlier, but it just couldn't quite set it up. Again, dollar CAD did, and look where it is now. That thing, really? Okay, we just hit a 65. Might have gone a little bit more than that. And I'm watching dollar yen. Dollar yen may find a little bit of difficulty above that 60 area. So I'm watching that. If I hit a 60 on dollar yen, I'm going to really watch where pound yen is. And that could really decide how much further this thing goes. So watch dollar yen 60. And right now we're at 65, so we've got 30 pips. But watch this. We're about 10 pips away from it. Pound dollar is not helping us. So you can see it's trying to move back down. It looks like we may just get into a dollar move today, and that's going to, these yen crosses are not going to perform well if that happens. So that's what I'm really concerned about. So we took some money off. We just hit a high of 68. I've got and I'm watching dollar yen at 60, and hopefully this pound dollar is not going to do much. And if I see an 85, there's a 65 now. And see, here's this. So I'm watching 60 on dollar yen. And that's certainly one area that if I see a 60 on dollar yen, I'm probably going to pull some money off this pound yen. We just hit a $55 yen. And pound dollar is moving lower. 52 on dollar yen. 58 on pound yen, and pound dollar is moving lower. So I'm saying it looks like the market might be setting up for some continued dollar strength. And if indeed that does happen, these yen crosses, euro yen, pound yen, and Aussie yen are going to be very difficult. I really think this thing's going to hit a 60 and pull back. If it does indeed even hit that 60, it could trigger some stops above that level. We're up about 1.5% on the day, which is not a bad place to be on your first trade. We've got this event coming up here pretty soon, and that's, again, a big concern of mine. So I'll pull a little bit more money off, and then let's just see, and maybe we'll let 10 lots run 100 pips or so. So no additional calls at the moment. Stop at entry, and we'll take our money. Dollar yen moving lower, pound dollar moving lower, pound yen moving lower. So take your profits. We got this Bank of England just a few minutes. I'll be right back.